in the 80s there when things got so terrible tough. Why, I mean, hell, they broke us. How would you say? You thought that you was, I don't know what, you beat maybe was the words, and brother worked in town and still tried to run this thing, and really I was probably as depressed right at that time and that I ever, as much as it ever was in my life, and I had the image that I could crawl into that rug and not make a bump. One day, it just hit me that you dumb son of a buck, why you put it together once, get off your butt and do it again. And we did.
We've lived here, what's it been? 64, so it's been 54 years, is that right? Yeah.
How did you and Grandpa meet?
I don't think we did. How's that?
Yeah, sir.
Well, it's a long story. Betty Ann was in high school when I was. Betty Ann and I kind of did some things. Probably sometimes too much fun. And it was probably during that time that, Grandpa and I went out and
we had a dance. Now it's a museum, and Fort Pierre was a dance hall and live band, of course. She was a damn good-looking woman.
I always kept my eye on him, and it took him for a while to figure out.
I was interested probably from the start, but at that time in the guy's age, and you still needed quite a lot of freedom, rodeo time.
Well, I don't know, something must have hit him, and he decided that maybe,
I think really probably in my heart knew from about the third time we went together that man, I hated to give up for a while,
So our plan, I think, was that we get married, I don't know, later in the summer or something. I think he decided he needed to cook down at Howard's, and so we put the speed on and we're married in June.
We were working for Howard Hanson at the time, and
Grandpa worked for a rancher, and they had a lot of sheep. And I cooked for the men, and everybody didn't have electricity and water. We weren't the only people in the world, it was that time. And we worked for him until both Shane and Kim were born when we lived on the river. And Kim was just probably 8 months old or so when Howard died in a blizzard. He froze to death. So we went to work for Raymond Sutton up at Gettysburg. It was during that time that when a guy approached him in Minnesota and asked him if he wanted to buy this land. He had heard he was from Pierre.
I was picking up broncs at Granite Falls, Minnesota. A guy asked me about this J.W. Craig land. I'd heard about it, kind of checked into it. And the reason we got to buy this land so cheap, everybody was afraid of old Pearl Telford. In fact, he offered to shoot me after he learned I bought it. I guess at that time in my life, I wasn't afraid of nothing. And I told him, just make damn sure the first shot counted, because I could shoot too. So.
Well, we knew, when we bought it, there was nothing here, so we knew we were going to have to build our homestead.
These are, they call spreaders. Let your horses be a little further apart. I found this thing in Indiana where Loretta's grandpa came from. and it just has a meaning to me because that's where it come from. And just for the record, without that lady, this wouldn't be nothing. We both come from, whatever we got, we had to work for. We didn't have much, but we had each other and the kids, and I don't know, I guess we never knew that we didn't have much.
Was Grandpa always Grandpa, if that makes sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we disagreed big time. It was poor enough we only had one bed to go to, and we would get it settled, and the next morning it was done and over with, and maybe there was a time or two, it might have took 2 mornings, but we, in a lot of ways, thought the same about a family. Raised the girls just like the boys, but I tried to go around the barn to go to the bathroom, but they all knew how to change the oil, and they knew how to run a tractor, and your mother probably had as much trouble learning to cook as but she did.
I'm still here. So.
Yeah, and I don't think it ever entered our minds that we wasn't person enough or horse enough, or call it whatever you want to, that we couldn't just keep making it better, and some days we didn't succeed. You know, we had a little tragedy. We lost Kimmy, our daughter, to brain tumor. Losing Kim was a tough one. How would you say? We just kept going on and making the best of what we had. I think we grew up and we tried to instill in our children that if your word was no good, nothing was that good. You got to be honest with yourself, you know. I mean, you've got a dream of what you want to do with your life, which is good. So you're not afraid to work for it. And I think that's what life is all about.
There's something that comes with it. If you earn it, it means a whole lot more to you.
I think how you get up every day and treat yourself and the people around you, I think that's terribly important. And you know, there's one person in this world that you got to be true to, and that's you. Different ones put a terrible lot of value on money, and you know, money's only good for what it'll buy you, but the friendship and the values, they can't take that away from you. I told somebody today even that we come around where our old arena used to be, and a lot of the Shane's age or all of their age, you know, that came here and got on bucking horses or stayed with us, they come and walk up to Loretta or I and stick their hand out, and maybe we meant something to them besides their own family and life. Yeah, and someday we might get old.
Okay.
But we ain't there yet.